Good morning, students. Once again, a very rocking welcome to the English world of Aradhya. Students, myself Rashmin sir, you already know me because you have already seen so many videos of me. Okay, and you also know I am imparting knowledge of English to the students of 9 to 12 standard in English medium. Okay, students, in my previous video we had taken the poem How to Tell Wild Animals. We had finished our explanation, and also I had just made it clear what sort of questions can be asked about this poem. Now today we will see the figures of speech of the entire poem. So any line may be asked. So let's look at the figures of speech. We will begin from the first line onwards. If ever you should go by chance to jungles in the east. Okay. So here jungles of the east means the jungles of the Asian countries. So that's why east is written. So it represents the jungles of the Asian countries. So that's why it is metonymy. If ever should you go by chance to jungles in the east. Okay. So it is metonymy. Then second line if you take, and if there should to you advance a large tawny beast. So here students use it, tawny beast refers to the lion. So that is also metonymy, but the word order over here is slightly different. It is not according to the grammatical pattern. So you can say it is anastrophe also. What is written over here? If there should to you advance a large tawny beast. Actually it should be like this. If there a large tawny beast should advance to you. This is the correct order. So it is not put in the correct order. So that's why it is anastrophe. Okay. If he roars at you as you are dying. So roar is referring to a sound of the lion. So that is why it is onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia means any word that refers to any sound. Okay. If he roars at you as you are dying, so you is repeated twice, so it is repetition also. And here two different actions are mentioned, roaring and dying. So the roaring of the lion can make you die also, because you are very close to the lion. So that is what, that you can say personification. You will know it is the Asian lion. So here students, both the lines if you take together, then dying and lion, because it is not given in the complete form. So both the words are rhyming over there. And you will, again you is there, so you can say it is repetition. Again it is alliteration because it and is, E sound is repeated through the words it and is. So it is alliteration. Okay. Second stanza, or if sometime when roaming round a noble wild beast greets you. So students, here you see the animal is given the quality of greeting. So it is personification. Animals cannot greet us. We people can greet other people, but animals cannot greet us. Okay. So it is students, alliteration, noble wild beast. Now wild beast cannot be noble. So both opposite words are taken together, noble and wild. That's why it is oxymoron. In oxymoron you see opposite words are taken together. Okay. So this particular two figures of speech are definitely there. Then roaming round, they are representing R sound. R sound is repeated through those words, so it is alliteration. Okay. With black stripes on a yellow ground. So students, you see his body is compared with a ground. The body of the tiger is compared with a ground. So ground's color is yellow. So here it is said that tiger's body's color is also yellow. So it is metaphor. Okay, black stripes on a yellow ground. So it is metaphor. Just notice if he eats you. So that is the irony. That is the irony, ironical situation. Okay, will you just remain there to be eaten by the tiger? Nobody will remain there. तो ये क्या है? irony है. This particular line is an irony. Okay, this simple rule may help you learn the Bengal tiger to descend. So again students, here the word order is changed. So that's why it is anastrophe. The actual sentence should be like this. This simple rule may help you learn to descend the Bengal tiger. So descend is taken in the end. And why it is taken in the end? Just to create this one internal rhyme. Okay, same rhyming words. This sound, ending sound is same. So it is internal rhyme. Learn and discern, un sound is there at the end of both the words. So it is internal rhyme and it is anastrophe also. Now we move on to the third stanza. If strolling forth a beast you view. So again students, here you see it is anastrophe. If strolling forth, if you see a beast strolling forth, it should be like this. But it is not given in the proper order. So it is anastrophe. Okay. And whose hide with spots is peppered. Okay. So here students, you see the leopard's body is compared with some spices where peppers are used. Okay. Pepper is a type of spice, but they are normally of black color. So black color dot if you find on this particular beast. So here it is metaphor also, because direct comparison is there of its body, his skin with the so his body is compared with these spices. Okay, as soon as he has leapt on you. So as soon as, in that you see as word is repeated, so it is repetition. He has leapt on you. So he and has, H sound is repeated through those two words. So it is alliteration. You will know it is the leopard. Okay. So both those lines if you take together, then leapt and leopard, L sound is repeated. Then also it is alliteration. Okay. And both the lines if you take together, then U is repeated. So U is also repeated in first line and second line. So it is repetition. It will do no good to roar with pain. Okay. So it will do no good to roar with pain. Roar again is a sound. So it is onomatopoeia. Okay. No sound word is there in a sentence. So it is litotes. Okay. And it is also a painful thing, that even if you roar with the pain, it will do no good to you. So it is euphemism, students. Okay. He will only lap and lap again. So you see lap word is repeated, so it is repetition, and pain and again both are rhyming with each other. So that is internal rhyme. Okay. So students, all those three stanzas are over. Now we will look at the other three stanzas. Okay. On next page you see first stanza. When you are walking around your yard. So when you are walking around your yard, your sound is repeated through the word you, your yard. So it is alliteration. Okay. And you word is also repeated, you can say. So it is, students, your and your. So it is repetition. You meet a creature there. So if you take both the lines together, you is repeated. So it is repetition. You meet a creature there. So that is what irony. Because you are roaming around and you meet a creature, wild creature. So that is not a pleasant situation, students. Okay. So it is irony, alliteration and anastrophe. Who hugs you very, very hard. So very, very is repeated. So it is repetition. Okay. Hugs and hard, that means it is H sound is repeated through these two words. So it is alliteration. Understood? And it is also personification, because hugging is normally done by the people. Here that quality is given to the bear. So it is personification. Be sure it is a bear. It is, E sound is repeated, be and bear. So B sound is also repeated. So this line has alliteration as well. If you have any doubts, I guess he will give you just one more caress. So here you see caress means again another hug. So he can give you. The animal is given that quality of giving the caress. So it is personification. Okay. It is also students alliteration, because have, he, those words are repeating H sound. So it is personification. You can say it is also internal rhyme, because guess and caress, S sound in the end of the word. So it is internal rhyme also. Okay, if you have any doubts, I guess he will give you just one more caress. So all those three figures of speech, personification, repetition and alliteration, are there in that particular line. Okay, now we move on to the second last stanza. Though to distinguish beast from of prey, a novice might nonplus. So nonplus, again it is a negative sentence. If you take both the sentences together, students, it is what? It is litotes. Okay. So, and the word order is also changed. It should be like this: a novice might nonplus though to distinguish the beast of prey though. It should be like this, but here word order is changed. So it is anastrophe. Okay, and then n sound is repeated through the words novice and nonplus. So it is alliteration also. And beast of prey talks about all the wild animals. So it is metonymy. Okay. The crocodile you always may tell from the hyenas. So again here it is anastrophe, because the word order is changed. You can say you always may tell the crocodile from the hyenas thus. It should be like this. But word order is changed. So it is anastrophe. And here you see the and thus. So the sound is repeated through those two words. So alliteration. Again the is repeated, but that normally we don't take for repetition. Okay. Hyenas come with merry smiles. So here you see it is what? Personification. Hyenas are given the quality of coming with the merry smile. Merry smiles that will be produced by the people. Okay. And here you see the adjective merry is used with smiles. Actually smiles is not merry. Hyena is merry. So it is transferred epithet. Epithet is placed with some other word. So it is transferred epithet. Okay. You can say it is also a metaphor, because here comparison is made between hyenas and crocodiles. So that way it is this metaphor also. Okay. But if they weep, they are crocodile. So that is what? That is antithesis, because in previous line they talk about smile, in the next line they talk about the weeping. So two opposite ideas are presented in those two lines. So it is antithesis also, transferred epithet also, personification also, and metaphor also. Understood? Now last stanza, the true chameleon is small. Okay. So here you see, again this is, I would say, the true chameleon is small. So chameleon is given the quality of being small. So you can say it is personification. A lizard sort of thing. So it is compared with a lizard. So it is directly compared without using the words like or as. So it is metaphor. Okay. A lizard sort of thing. He hasn't any ears at all. So any at all. These are what? These are words representing the A sound. So it is alliteration. Hasn't, not is there. So it is litotes. And ears is a body part. So it is synecdoche. And not a single wing. So again it is wing also a body part. So it is synecdoche, and not is there in that line also. So it is litotes. If there is nothing on the tree. Okay. So nothing also shows a negative sentence. So it is litotes. If there is nothing on the tree, it is the chameleon you see. Understood, students? So here it is tree and sea. Both the words rhyme with each other. So there it is internal rhyme. Okay, students? Then again you see the is repeated. So you can call it a repetition, but we won't take it for repetition. Then there and the. So they are producing the sound. So that's why it is alliteration. Okay, students, with that we complete the figures of speech of this particular poem. Kindly go through them once again, learn to identify the right figures of speech, and that will give you the cash marks. Okay, so students, here we end this. In my next video we will take up your second poem of the same chapter. Okay, till that time students, just study well, do well. God bless you. Have a nice day.